Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the playbook for some of the biggest, most disruptive companies of the 21st century. We're diving into the big ideas from the book Platform Revolution to really understand the business model that has, well, pretty much changed everything. Okay, so let's kick things off with a puzzle. It's something you've probably felt or noticed, but maybe haven't quite put your finger on just yet. I mean, really think about this for a second. This idea completely flies in the face of like 100 years of business logic. The old titans of industry, the Fords, the General Electrics, they won by owning things. They own the factories, the inventory, all the physical assets. But the giants of today? They look totally different. This quote from Tom Goodwin just hits the nail on the head, right? It perfectly captures this paradox. Uber owns no cars, Facebook creates no content, Airbnb owns no real estate. So how on earth is this possible? The answer isn't just some clever new trick. It's a completely new way of doing business. And that fundamental shift is all about moving from what we call a pipeline to a platform. Now, this isn't just another buzzword. It's a totally different way of thinking about how value gets created and delivered in the first place. For centuries, almost every business worked like a pipeline. A company designs a product, they manufacture it, and then they push it out to a consumer. It's a straight line, a one-way street. But platforms, they flip this whole model on its head. They don't push value, they enable it. They're not playing the game, they're building the arena where producers and consumers can find each other and create value together. And if there's one thing to really get, it's this. Platforms don't own the means of production, they own the means of connection. They're not making the product, they're making the marketplace. That's the key. So, what makes owning these connections so incredibly powerful? Well, it unlocks this amazing engine for growth, something that those old pipeline businesses just can't compete with. Back in the 20th century, companies got big through what's called supply-side economies of scale. Just think of Henry Ford's assembly line. The more cars he made, the cheaper each individual car was to produce. That efficiency was the big competitive advantage. But today, platforms grow through demand-side economies of scale, or what we call network effects. And this is the magic formula. The value of the platform isn't in how efficient it is, but in how big and vibrant its community is. And this whole idea really explains the clash between old-school thinking and this new platform world. Back in 2014, a traditional financial analyst looked at Uber and saw, well, a taxi company. They valued it at about $6 billion. But a venture capitalist, like Bill Gurley, he saw something completely different. He wasn't looking at the cars, he was looking at the network. And he knew that the network's value was growing exponentially with every single new driver and rider that joined. And this right here is the engine that those traditional models just couldn't see, the virtuous cycle. It all starts with more passengers opening the app. That demand naturally pulls in more drivers who want to earn money. And with more drivers on the road, the service gets way better. Wait times drop, better service then attracts even more passengers, and you see where this is going. The whole cycle just repeats, feeding on itself, getting stronger and more valuable with every single ride. Okay, so we know these engines are powerful, but how are they actually built? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the basic architecture that makes it all work. Every successful platform, whether it's YouTube, Airbnb, or even a professional network like LinkedIn, is absolutely obsessed with one thing: making a central exchange of value as easy and frictionless as possible. That is its entire reason for existing. And that interaction really just breaks down into a simple formula. First, you need participants. On YouTube, that's the creators making videos and the viewers watching them. Next, you need a value unit. That's the video itself. And maybe most importantly, you need a filter. For YouTube, that's its incredible recommendation algorithm, the magic that somehow connects you with the perfect video you didn't even know you were looking for. So to keep that core interaction firing on all cylinders, the platform has to be a master of three jobs. First, it has to pull people in. Then it has to facilitate their interactions, making it dead simple to exchange value. And finally, it has to match them, using data to make those perfect connections with almost uncanny precision. So look, this whole model isn't just about ride-sharing or social media. It's a much bigger deal. It's a fundamental shift that's beginning to impact pretty much every corner of our economy. And this is why all this matters, even if you're not in Silicon Valley. Just look at these industries. What do they all have in common? Well, they're often inefficient, and information is scattered all over the place. Platforms thrive in that kind of chaos. They're not building new hospitals or new power plants. They're building the network that makes the existing ones work a whole lot smarter. So, the most valuable skill is shifting away from managing what you own to fostering a community you don't actually control. Success is no longer about building the best internal machine. It's about nurturing the most vibrant external network. And really, that's the big question that every business, every creator, every single professional has to ask themselves today. Are you just pushing something down a pipeline, or are you building a network that can grow and thrive on its own? Because in the 21st century, the network always wins. Thanks for watching.